Alright, what's up guys? Rob here. I'm here with a 30-day review of the Lumen. So, what is a Lumen? Lumen is the first handheld device that you can use to hack your metabolism, or that's what the website says. By the way, I am in no way sponsored to make a video using this device or reviewing this device. But let me tell you, I wish I was, because then at least I would be making some money off this. So how does the Lumen work? The Lumen uses a CO2 sensor and a flow meter to determine the CO2 concentration in a single breath. This indicates the type of fuel that your body is using to produce energy. Basically, what the Lumen does is it determines if you're burning fat or if you're burning carbs for energy. And why is that important? Because by determining if your body is burning fat or carbs for energy, Lumen will then guide your fuel choices based off that information so that you're consuming the right amounts of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates for the day. And the reason Lumen does this is because it's trying to help you hack your metabolism. That's the word they use. Don't blame me. But aside from the fancy lingo, basically what the Lumen does is it helps you create metabolic flexibility, which means your body learns to adapt to use both fats and carbohydrates for fuel versus only using carbohydrates for fuels. This device also helps you determine the state of your metabolism, whether you have a slow or a fast metabolism. And if it's slow, well then it helps you speed up your metabolism. This is a truly amazing device that was created by two sisters who wanted to enhance metabolic flexibility and enhance the typical athlete into a device that most people can afford without having to spend thousands of dollars on expensive testing. So how do you use this device? You start your day first thing in the morning by breathing into this device to see what it is that your body is burning for fuel.
Inhale deeply through your lumen. Hold your breath. Exhale in 3, 2, 1.
Now, after Lumen determines what your body is burning for fuel, that being fat or carbohydrates, it then develops a macro guide and a meal plan based off these recommendations to make sure that you're again working on metabolic flexibility. It is a very easy to use device. And it even comes with all the guidelines necessary that you need. And you can take measurements at all times of the day. The first one being the morning, when you wake up, will give you the guidelines for the rest of your day. Then if you decide to take another measurement before a workout or after a workout, based off what your body is burning for fuel, Lumen might recommend having more carbohydrates before your workout to help you fuel your workout. And that pretty much goes for anything you do throughout the day, whether it's physical activity, whether you're stressed out, custom check-ins, anything will give Lumen the information it needs to determine whether your body's burning fat or carbohydrates for fuel, and it learns about how your body reacts to certain things throughout the day so that it can give you more insight into your metabolism. Now, when you're ready to get a measurement at whatever time of the day that it actually is, basically all you do is click on the measurement within the app, you press and hold the main Lumen button. Once the device is on, you will then breathe into the device as instructed, and after 1 or 2 breaths, Lumen will determine your metabolism. And again, if you work out and you're tracking your workouts, Lumen will track this. And let's say you do a workout throughout the day and your Apple Watch tracks that. This is immediately integrated into the Lumen app, and Lumen will recommend more carbohydrates or more fats based off your workout. And now another important thing that Lumen actually does is if you're a woman, it actually helps you track your menstrual cycle, and it determines how your metabolism is actually affected by your menstrual cycles, which is really good information for a woman to have. And here's a funny story. It is hilarious how many people will think that you're smoking pot when you're using this device. Now, what are my experiences with this device? The first time I actually received the device, it wasn't working for some odd reason. There was some sort of malfunction with the device, and I couldn't get it to work on the application. However, all I did was talk to the customer service. I broke down the situation for them, and they sent me a new device immediately within the week. So again, awesome customer service. They really care about their product and they really care about the customer. Now, another important thing that you should know about this diet is that it's not always possible to prepare yourself with this diet, as the recommendations are based off your daily breaths. Now, the recommendations are usually high in fats, and there are those days where it's high in carbohydrates, but the protein usually always stays the same, and that's based off your goal. If your goal is to lose weight, your protein might be a little lower, and if your goal is to gain muscle and improve athletic performance, then the protein will be a little higher, but it's usually based off your weight, and it'll be around the same amount that you weigh. Now, before I go over the results, I do want to go over some of the cons of this diet with you. Anyways, the first con is the inconvenience and the timing. Every morning before you get your first measurement, you have to wait around 30 minutes in order to have an accurate reading. Now, unfortunately, what this means is you can't exercise first thing in the morning, and you can't be moving around or being active first thing in the morning, because the device requires you to be in a resting state for a good 30 minutes so that you are relaxed, so that I can get the accurate reading. Which to me kind of feels like a waste of time, because when I get up first thing in the morning, I just want to get into working out already and preparing for my day. So I felt like I just kind of had to lay there for 30 minutes before I could get my first reading. Now, the second one is limitations. Don't get me wrong, the device works well at telling you what you're burning, and it's a great tool to use. However, the dietary recommendations are a little limited. And what I mean by that is, again, your diet for that specific day is recommended based off your reading. So if you have a high fat day and a low carb day, you have to alter your day based off that diet. If you have a high carb day and a medium fat day, again, you still have to alter your diet for that specific day. This means you can't really meal prep or plan your meals the day before or even a week before, because you have to do it all that day. So once you figure out what you're burning for that day, then you can plan what you're going to eat for that day, which is a little hard because, again, you can't meal prep. So you have to be cooking this food every single day, and based off your readings, you have to figure out what you're going to eat and how you're going to fit it in, how you're going to do it time-wise. Most of the time with this diet, you can't just go to a fast food restaurant and grab something to eat, because it has to fit into the macro system that they provide for you. Now, for the results, is the diet worth it? Is the device worth the purchase? Well, based off my experience with it, I'm a very active individual, so for that reason alone, the device is worth it. If you're the type of person who will follow the recommendations daily and you focus on vegetable and fruit carbohydrate sources, you will have amazing results. Personally, what I found is that when I stuck to these type of sources of carbohydrates, I had better readings every single day, where I was constantly burning fat versus burning carbohydrates. Now, within the last month, my fat mass went from 24.87 to 22.92, which is a clear indication of fat loss. And again, within the last month, my muscle mass went from 62.29 to 65.75, which is a clear indication of muscle gain. All in all, the results do speak for themselves. And one thing I need to know is, don't worry about weight loss, because your weight will always vary based off water, muscle, and fat. Now, the other thing I do want you to know about this diet is that the mode I used for my Lumen was on muscle gain, which means it had me at a slight calorie surplus, which means for me, I was consuming around 3,300 calories every day. But that's based off what your personal preference on the device is. You might set yours to fat loss, which will decrease the calories and have you in a calorie deficit. Now, what's my takeaway with this device? It's a very helpful device, regardless if you're going to be using it with their recommendations or not. Being able to learn about your metabolism, having insight to what your body is currently burning, how your body is affected by workouts, food, that's all insightful information, especially if you're a very active person like I am. So for me, I thought it was a good investment. I'm still okay with the investment because I'm still going to use it regardless of my diet, just to see how my body responds to certain things. Now, if you're the type of individual who doesn't know what to eat and likes macros and eating plans that are recommended to them, then this device might actually be very well for you because of how the app works and how the app gives you the recommendations so that you don't have to worry about it on a daily basis. For me personally though, I prefer to plan out my meals. It just makes it easier for me, and this device made it a little difficult for me to do that, but again, it all comes down to personal preference. I'm still going to use the device in my future diets just to see how diets affect my body and to see how workouts affect my body and my metabolism. Anyways, that's it for this video. I just wanted to give my honest review on the device so that you have more insight into the device if it is something that you're considering investing in. As always, like and subscribe to this video if you found any of the information useful. My social media links are at the bottom. I have supplement discount links at the bottom. If you're new to my channel, watch some of my other videos and have a nice day.